I give the summary what we discussed in the last session. Like, so we discussed about OEGI introduction, what is OEGI, and we discussed what is bundle and a jar, and what is the difference between bundle and jar. What is jar? What is jar file? Next, we discussed about what is content packages, and we discussed about difference between bundle and jar, and difference between bundle and content packages. And so these are the basic things we'll discussed in the last session. These are the these are the topics we discussed in the last session. Okay, so today let's start with OIGA component and service. OIGA component and service. So generally OIGA component and service are normal Java classes only. OIGA component and OIGA service. So these are normal Java classes only. All backend topics are normal Java classes only. So normal Java classes only. So what is the purpose of OIGA component and service is, with the help of OIGA component and service, so they can listen service lifecycle events. They can listen service lifecycle events. Service lifecycle events. The events are like activate, I can say deactivate, and modify. 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 These are the event life cycles. Event life cycles. Activate, deactivate, and modify. And we can do one more big advantage with the OIGA component and service. That is the dynamic configuration. That is the dynamic configuration. Dynamic configurations. Dynamic configurations meaning, so without doing hard coding, meaning in Java we have the instance variables. That way instance variables normally we can initialize in multiple ways, like through the hard coding we can initialize, through the constructor we can initialize, and through the methods we can initialize. But we can initialize the instance variables by using the dynamic variables, meaning we can pass the values by using dynamically. Those with that dynamic values we can initialize with that variables that we'll see. So these are the big advantages with the OIGA component service. OIGA component service. Okay, OIGA component service are nothing but normal Java classes only, right? For example, if we take normal Java class, public class, demo, this is the normal Java class. Okay, how you can convert this normal Java class into the component? So simply you can annotate with @component. @component. If any class, if you define with component at the time of compilation, .xml files will be created. .xml files will be created. So .jar file will contain three things: compiled Java classes, resources meaning might be the XML files, might be the JSON files, and metadata. Okay, if you any class you define with @component, that at the time of compilation, .xml files will be created. .xml files will be created. Also, we discussed in the last session bundle lifecycle also, right? Bundle lifecycle. So very important bundle lifecycle. So any interview, this is the regular question. Bundle lifecycle. We'll go with bundle lifecycle. First one is installed state, and the second one is, I would say, resolved, and third one is start, and the fourth one is active. Bundle should be then the active, and the next one is stop, and next one is uninstall. This is the bundle life cycle. So when the bundle will be in the active, when the bundle inactive, then OIJ component and OIJ component service also will be activate OIJ component and OIJ service also activate. and when the bundle you uninstall, then OSA component and service also deactive deactive. Okay, so generally what internal process will happens, like whenever you are doing the deployment, and how the we have the OSA framework, right? So AM architecture, which is created with the three frameworks. OSA is the one of the framework, and Apache Sling is the one of the framework. JSON is the one of the framework. So how OSA framework it will treat this OSA component and the OSA service. So generally, how it can identify? So this class is belong to OSA component. This class is belong to OSA service. How it can identify? So whatever the class you defined with at the rate component at the compilation time, so .xml files will be created. That you can see. You can go with the decompiler. Then you can open if you .jar file. Then your .xml files will be created there. So the first point, what the OSA framework it will do. First point, what it will do generally, the first point, first OSA framework identify the all OSA components based on the XML files. The first point, what it will do, identify all OSA components, based on XML files, based on XML, based on XML configurations. You can say XML configurations. First, it will go to the jar file and it will look for the is there any XML files is there or not there. So is there any XML files? So based on that, it will identify this is belong to OSA component. That is the first point OSA framework will do. Next, okay, it can identify XML configurations. It can identify XML configuration. And next step, what it will do, based on it will identify OSA components based on the XML configuration. Next step is it will create objects for objects for all OSA components. All OSA components, it will create the objects. It will create the objects that I told you. Global objects also OSA framework will create. So there some of the global objects will be there, right? That global objects also as the deployment and OSA framework it will create the global objects. So similarly, in case of OSA component and services also, first it will identify the XML configuration. Based on that, it will create the all OSA components. It will create the objects for all OSA components. OSA components. Next point is register all OSA components with OSA container. Register all OSA components with OSA container. With the container. OSA container. And next one is container triggers the activate events. Container triggers the activate events. Activate events. Activate events. Container triggers the activate events and execute activate method in the OSA component. Execute activate method in the OSA component. So this process generally every time. So on the deployment, every time the process will happen the same. First, it will identify all the OSA component based on the XML configuration, and it will create the objects for the all OSA components and register all OSA components with OSA container. Container triggers the activate events and execute the activate method in OSA component. OSA component. And here, one more important point here, OSA component services all are the singleton Java classes. All are singleton Java classes. OSA component and service all are singleton classes. All are singleton Java classes. Singleton Java classes meaning it can we can able to create only one object. We can able to create only one object. But in case of Java, for one class you can create number of objects. If class created, so we can create number of objects. So in that we did in core Java like that. But generally here this is all component and services are the singleton Java classes. Meaning one class can contain only one object. So who created that object? OSJ framework will create that object. Directly we will use that object, and then based on the requirement we will use that one. So that we will see. So in the last session what we did, so generally we took one demo class, and then uh, we took some of the methods like public void activate method, and we took some business logic. So this is one method, and next to public void deactivate method, and next we took a public void modified method, modified any method name you can take, no issue at all. And these are the normal methods. These again you can annotate with at the rate activate, at the rate activate, and this we can define with at the rate deactivate, at the rate deactivate, and the next we can define with at the rate modified, and we create one logger file. That logger file which is used to track the method's progress, which method is working fine or not. Okay, so correctly we can progress uh, methods progress in the logger files. Logger files. This we did in the last session. So I will show you once again. I will take one more class, and I will show you that one how they will work and all. Okay, so I will go to the code base. In the services, I will create. So this I will delete, and I can create. I will write from scratch once again. Okay. Now I took the class name is article service class. Article service. Article service class. This is the normal Java class. Delete. Open Java file. Take article service. You can mention Hindu article service. Hindu article service name I am taking. Okay, this is the normal Java class. Okay, this is the normal Java class. The skeleton of the backend files is, so first you can convert it into at the rate component, and you have to make sure you can import OSJ service dot component, and then after that, so this is the basic skeleton normal Java class we are converting into the component. Okay, so inside you can take the methods public void activate method, and from this is the scope of the activate, and like that you can take public void deactivate method. The method names you can take anything, and like that public void modifier or anything you can take modify method, and okay, these are the normal methods. These normal methods you can annotate with at the rate activate, at the rate activate, and make sure you have to import the package also, and here you can mention with at the rate deactivate, at the rate deactivate. Yes, here also can annotate with at the rate modify, at the rate modify. So for tracking the methods and all, so make sure you have to use the logger tool. private and static and final logger. Logger, make sure whenever you are importing the logger, you have to import SLF Forge only. SLF Forge is the tool which is a logger tool which is integrated with AEM. Make sure you have to import SLF Forge only. SLF Forge only. Click on that and now open log file. This is the constant variable, so that is the reason I am taking all variables are in uppercase. Again, logger factory. Logger factory is the one class which is available in SLF4J, SLF4J package, and I am importing SLF4J. And this is the class. In that class, we have the static method. How we can access the static methods? We can able to access the static method by using getLogger. By using getLogger class. Click on that getLogger, and in that you can mention the class name. So with that, you can able to track all the methods progress. Dot class, and then you can mention here. You can mention here. Now I will use this variable name, and then I can pass some dummy messages like log.info, and here inside I would like to mention like activate method started. The class name I would like to mention in the article in the article service. In the article service. So similarly, I can take in this is the activate method. So similarly, I can take. So first time, whenever you are doing the first time, this message only display. This message only display. When your service will be deactivate, meaning when you delete the bundle, and then again whenever you are doing the same code, then at the time this activate message will be displayed. Article service activate. Then here I can mention with the deactivate, and then here also can mention with update. This is the update and modify. These are the three methods I took. Okay, okay, fine. Now here you can mention immediate equal to true. Immediate equal to true meaning on deployment, the bundle OJ component should be in the active. On deployment, this should be in the active. Okay, this is the simple program I wrote, and then we'll go and then we'll do the deployment. I will go to my code base and aim guides, open command prompt, clean install minus. You can do the deployment and the see what will happen. So in the last session, I guess my mission got a little tired of me. So before yesterday, actually, I attended three sessions: 6:30 to 7:30 and 7:30 to 9:30. 9:30. So I did not restart and all, and then I started. So that is the reason. Yesterday, actually, my mission not working properly. So the code, whatever the code we wrote, that is okay. No issue in the code. Only the thing is, my system is not working properly. So today we'll see the same code, whatever the code I wrote, the same I'm writing here today also. Class name, component, immediate equal to true, methods activate, deactivate, and modify. These messages should be displayed on the logs, error.logs. Now open your decompiler and decompiler is the tool you can download from internet. Open the folder Atlas. Check. Go to OJNF. Look for Hindu article service. See, Hindu article service is created. Hindu article service is created. Okay, simply I copied this message and I will go to the log files. Go to your aim folder. Next, inside we have the author folder. Click start. Go to logs. So by default, all logs will be available in the error.log. Here you can open and look for the message which is article message started, which is article message service activate started. That message should be displayed here. Get logger can take activate method started. Activate. So the error.log file, right? You can check is there any logs are created with that name. Go to your OJ configuration. I can say localhost 4502. Go to the tools and operations web console, and you can go with OJ log support. Look for is there any logs created or not. There is no logs is created. Okay, fine. The article service and press release service. This press release service. Component at the rate component equal to OJ service component equal to annotation dot, and again we can mention enabled equal to true, enable equal to true, and the class name is Hindu article service, and get logger Hindu article service get logger, and we took the methods activate method, deactivate method, and modified method. These are all the things we things, and this message should be displayed on in the error.log files. This message should be displayed on the error.log files. Okay, now we can save this one. We can go to the once again the deployment, and then can do the deployment. Somewhere is the mistake, so that we'll see. Invited. So the error is coming from hindu.java. So go to that location, the file hindu.java. So this also can remove. Save the file. Now you can go with that, and then again you can deploy the file. So build is success. Now you can go to the logs. Again, open the logs from scratch. Go to your AEM, and from that author folder and quick start. Go to quick start logs. Go to error.log. Go inside, and then you can look for the message, activate message. The message what we wrote, component equal to and activate get logger and Hindu article service first time given activate, deactivate and modify annotations window, and this will be displayed on the right. OSGS service component annotations activate. All of them. Private static final logger equal to logger log. I guess this will write one more time. Might be. I would say private static final. Final is the keyword we are making as final, and logger is the we have to import OSG SLF4G only. SLF4G only how to import. I would say logger, and you can take SLF4G only. SLF4G only. So you have to import this one, and log equal to logger factory SLF4J dot get logger. Get logger, you can take the get logger, and in that you can pass the class name. Class name. Dot class. Okay. Now you can create one more log, so that is the better. Go to here, log support, and click on log support. Create new logger. Now here you can mention. I would like to mention some Hindu article. the logger name I would like to mention Hindu article. Hindu article. Okay, and then here you can mention the name, like which is demo, and then dot com dot adobe dot. The package path you can copy from here, com dot adobe dot aim guides demo. Aim guides demo, you can copy the path here. Under the demo we have the packages like service package, right? Which is not showing the adobe dot com dot aim dot guides. Go to bundle timestamp and check the bundle installed or not. The class name demo, open demo. So see, the bundle is in install state, so that is the reason. Why is in install state? Deployed 959. This is in install state. Can start the bundle. So now the bundle in active state. So that is the reason. Reload. Now the bundle in active. Now go to your error logs. Open error logs. Now can look for the activate. Now can look for the activate. Now can get the messages. Hindu service. Some we created some method, right? Some messages we created in the our loggers like this. You can copy the entire message and you can go to find and then look for the message. So see here, Hindu article service is displayed. Okay, so previous case my bundle in install state. So I need to change the bundle state to active. So always the bundle should be in the active state. Always the bundle should be in the active state. So that is the only the reason. So previous case it won't display because the bundle is in install state. So always the bundle should be in the active. Then only our OICA component and service will be active. I hope this is clear, right? Okay, this is the one class. This class I converted it to the OICA component. And next one is normally I will show you. So next thing is this is the case number one. Case number two will take one more class. Will take one more component, and that component we need to call from in this class, in this component. So that I will show you how it can, and you can get the better understanding. So above example is the case number one. This is the case number one. This is the scenario number one. Scenario number one. This is the scenario number one. Scenario number two. The same class, the class name is the article service. I can take this one as the article service. Hindu article service. You took the classes Hindu article service. Okay, Hindu article service. This is the class name. And so I will take one more class, that is the class name is public class. The class name is next. I would like to take one more class, that is the Hindu the press release service. press release service. This is the one more class I will take. Press release. Okay. Normally in core Java, if you want to create, if you want to call one class into the another class, if you want to make establish the relation between two classes, so generally what we did, so we can create the one object. We can take the main method and inside we create the object for the whatever the class you want to mapping to this class. We can make the we can create the object, and through that we can create the connection between two classes. We can create the connection between two classes. But in the OGI, in this case, we cannot create the objects. So objects manually we won't create. OGI is the framework. Framework will create the objects. Framework will create the objects. So how it will create the objects? So this is the process it follow. Every time it will follow the same process. First, it will identify the XML files and create the objects for all XML files. Who will create objects? Framework will create the objects by default. That is the by default nature of the framework. And register all components with the OGA container, and container triggers the activate events and execute the activate method in OGA component. This process it will follow every time. Every time it will follow the same process. Whenever you are doing the deployment, every time OGA will follow. This is the default behavior of the OGA framework. OEJ framework. Okay, fine. Now I will go to the Hindu press release class, and in that I will take the same methods, and then one more normal method I will take, and then I will pass some dummy messages. That's the same methods I will take. I take same methods. For example, from here to here, I will copy the same methods. Activate, deactivate, and along with I will take one more extra method, which is generally I want to display like public string and the method name update data or else printed data. Method names you can take anything. Printed data, I'm taking print data. And then if the method has the return type, then it has to return the same value. And a return statement should be the last line of the program, right? Return statement. And here I would like to display this is the string, right? I'm returning the string like please print data. Some dummy message I'm taking. This dummy message I need to make the relation between two classes, and from that class I need to call this method. I need to call this method, and then I will display the form. That will see the programmatically you can get the better clarity on it. Okay. So the same thing, the same program, I'm going to the file, and this is the one OSA component. Again, one OSA component I will take. We can mention the OSA component as take a new Java file, take a class, and mention the class name as article. I would say so. Here you can mention Hindu. I would say the class name is press release, Hindu press release. Okay, so click on that, and this is the class. This is the normal Java class. You can convert as at the rate component. At the rate component. This is the basic skeleton for every program. Every program, and one second, guys. Okay, component. This is the basic skeleton. Same here also I'm doing. Component here you can mention immediate equal to true. On deployment, the service should be true. Here you can import the package. The same process what I did in case of Hindu article service, Hindu article component, the same process I'm doing here also. Next, the same code I am copy from there and then I am pasting here. Okay, here simply I will change the class name Hindu press release dot class. Here also simply I will change the normal text press release. So simply as I am doing only, I created only one file and then I am mentioning as the component, and this code already I wrote in this file. So the same copy I copied from there and I'm pasting here and I'm changing the class name. This is the dummy message. Okay, you can take any dummy message. Now here Hindu press release okay, this, the same thing we can take with here also. Okay, so I will take one more method, that is public string and print data. This is the normal method, and if the method has the return type, it has to return the same value. I will take the return type. Return type is print data. Print data is some dummy message I would like to take. Print data is the method, and then you can end with the semicolon. The press release. Okay, you can save this one. Now this is the one OJ component, and in the article service is the one OJ component. How we can make the relation between two OJ components? My requirement is I want to call this OJ component into here. This OJ component to here. Here the thing is, you can remember one point is, so component we can call directly component into component. Okay, then how we can call this component, we can make it as the service, and that service you can call into the component. So that is the reason this component I am converting into as the service. So how you can convert the service attribute, and you can mention the class name. The class name is the Hindu article service dot class, right? So then you can mention the same name, Hindu article service dot class. This is the class name. Now this is the service. Here one more question also they will ask, like uh, what is the difference between the component and service? So normal Java class you can convert into the original component, and component you can change into the service, but service you cannot change into the component, only forward direction. Normally Java class you can convert into the component. The component you can only can change into the service, but service you cannot change into the component. Okay, only forward component. This is the basic skeleton of OJ service. Normal Java class, component, service. Java class, component, service. Only you can convert component into service, but you cannot convert the service into the component. Okay, so that is the little difference you can understand. Okay, now this is the service. This service I want to call in my Hindu press release class. How can I call? So should I create the object? So in Java we create the object like this, right? A Hindu article service equal to some object name you can mention, and new, like this you can create an object, like this you can create object. But this is the singleton classes, right? The object We won't create manually. OSG framework will create the object, and then we will use that one. We will use that one. So for OSG components, how we can call? We have the annotation, that is the at the rate reference annotation. At the rate reference, click on at the rate reference annotation, and the class name you can mention. Hindu article service is the class name, right? That you can mention in the article service, and the object name you can mention anything. This is the object. This is the object. So normally object names meaningfully in the real time or wherever the object name should be the meaningful. That is the recommended approach. Normally, I would say variable names you can give anything, but it should be meaningful. It should be speak. Okay, it should be the meaningful. So as of now, I am taking as the variable name as HS. Okay. Okay, now this is the default one. When I'm deploying the my code into the bundle uh, AIM server on deployment, so it will be this object will be initialized with these properties. This will be initialized with these properties. That function who will do? OIJ framework will do. OIJ framework will do. Okay, fine. So I can has make the relation between. So this print data method you can take in service class. You can go to the service class Hindu article. So here you can take the print data method and you can save the file. Now you can go to the Hindu press release service, and now you can call print data method. Print data method. So has is the object, hash dot, in that to have the methods print data method. Call the print data method, and again you can show this print data method in again in some variable. You can say the some variable I can store like as the result as the variable. This result as the variable data type is the string. So I want to display the message. So for that purpose I would like to take log file dot inf log dot info. In that I would like to mention a result variable. Also here we have the placeholder. The placeholder you can write in two ways. So generally the placeholder in normal in core Java, how we can, if you want to print anything, how we can write, you can take the system statement, right? System dot out dot println, and in that you can mention string and variable name. Here we will mention the variable name, right? Variable name, for example, in this case we will take like here this is the result string. We can pass as the string, and here we can mention as the result. So this is the one way to print. Here also this is the one way, like you can print in two ways. Like here you can mention result is, and this is the one way to print. If you go with this approach also, that can we can able to print the value, and we can print in other way also, that is the placeholder meaning. So you can mention result, and this is the placeholder. This placeholder you can mention directly as the variable. These are the two ways. These are the two ways you can print the values. But from that, this is the recommended approach. This is the recommended approach. Okay. Can print in two ways, but this is not at all recommended. This is the recommended approach. We will use the placeholders, and this value, this placeholder will be initialized with this value, assigned with this value. Okay, so I'm deleting this one, and this is the recommended approach. This is the recommended approach, and save the file. And whatever the message I wrote here, which is print data of Hindu press release service, this should be displayed on the logs. This should be displayed on the logs. This is the simple service. This service I called in OSG component. This is the object name. and that object again I am calling in the activate method, and then I am printing the result. I am printing the Now I will do the deployment, and then we'll see the result in the error.logs. So now I hope you guys got the clarity what is OIJ component and what is OIJ service. OIJ component and OIJ service are both are the normal Java classes only. So if you define any class with @ component, then that is @ OIJ component. And in that OIJ component, if you pass service attribute, then you can say that is OIJ service. So always you can convert component to service only, but we cannot convert service into the component. So meanwhile, do you have any questions? You can ask me.
It's there.
Any questions? Anyone?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, hi, good morning.
Sir, actually, when we created the service Javana, sir, we
Yes.
are getting for a coolant, we are getting the error message, sir.
Which message?
I will share you the screen, sir.
Yeah. Okay, you can share at the session last ending. I will again. I will come back to you. Okay.
Okay, sure, sir.
Okay. So bundle build a success. Now we can go with error.logs and then open error.logs, and then here you can look for the message what we wrote in the printed data method. That message it has to display here. That message it has to display here. So see here, print data of Hindu press release. So how we are getting this one? We are getting this one. Generally, we created one service. That service we are calling into the component. So this is the relation between service and component. So one component we cannot convert. We cannot call other component. Service only can convert. We can call. Simply can convert a component into service. That service you can wherever you want. You can reuse that service. Reuse that service. This is scenario number 2. So scenario number 2, what you understand, like how you can convert a component to service and how you can call the service into the component. This is the scenario number 2. You have to have the understand. So I took one normal method. This is a normal method I took, and in that I uh, uh, some dummy message, and that I'm checking like the message is displaying or not. So this is how we can call the service into the component. Call the service into the component. I hope this is clear for everyone, right? In these two areas, anyone have any questions like component and service? In these two areas, anyone have any questions like
No,
component?
sir.
Clear, right?
Yes.
Hello, sir. Good
Yes,
morning. Uh, sir,
yes, please go ahead.
sir, while writing the program, if any spelling mistakes we entered now, it doesn't matter for
No,
how.
everything is matters.
No, sir.
No.
Okay, while you declaring the log variable in private, hello.
Yes, yes, yes. One
Visual,
second.
Visual Studio Code.
This is my code base. Then
And this declared variable log now as
this
project static.
this is
In
a
that
constant variable.
constant variable, in that you mentioned class as class double Z.
This one.
Huh.
This is
This
by
is
default one. We
by
can
default.
remove that one.
Okay.
We can remove that one.
Okay. And next in
This is in
yeah,
comment. Okay.
okay. In line number deactivate method, sir. 20.
21. Yes.
No, no, no. Just scroll up.
In which line?
No, sir. You just scroll up, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Release that one you wrote as spelling mistake.
In which line?
No, sir. In another class, sir.
Oh, should I go with Hindu press release? This
Ah,
is the
service class. It is
okay.
a
Okay.
service and another component class.
This is the Hindu article service. So should I go with Hindu press release? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It
Uh,
is
mm,
uh, line number 33, sir.
line number 33. Okay.
Okay. Hindu press release.
Uh,
Release spelling some RELEAS.
this is a dummy message, right? This
No, it's
dummy
not.
message you can write anything.
No, okay, sir.
This dummy
Yeah.
message you can write anything.
Mm.
So in Java we have the naming convention standards, right?
Ah,
Like in case
yes,
of
sir.
methods, that
Method.
you can follow the according to the naming conventions.
Okay.
This dummy messages you can write anything. Okay, this is
Okay.
a dummy message as your wish.
Ah, okay.
Okay, the naming conventions you can follow in like whenever you are giving the method names
Mm.
and class names and constant, this is the constants. At the time you can follow the naming conventions. That
Okay.
is a dummy message you can write anything. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
this you can write anything. So any other questions? I hope this is clear for everyone, like what is OIG component and how to create a OIG service and how to map service into the component. So we will use the @ reference. With that we can map with that we can give the. So here the object name also, variable name also should be the relevant. It has to speak. Okay, so if you write like this, then this is reducing the code readability, right? So how, for code readability purpose, you can mention like this, like this is the Hindu. So you know already the naming conventions for the variables. So you should be follow the camel case. Camel case meaning first word should be the lower case, second word onwards first character should be in the upper case. So Hindu article service, so it will give already suggestions. So from that you can choose anyone. This is the recommended naming approach. If you write like this, then it will increase the code readability. Okay, now the same here also, the same name you can copy and you can come here and you can paste here. So this is the recommended approach. This is the recommended approach. The variable whatever you are giving, that has to have the meaning. That is the only that will increase the code readability. That will increase the code readability. I hope this is clear for everyone. Next, next I will go with the next concept. Mm, with that, you can get the clarity. This is the scenario number one, and scenario number two. Call the service into the component. Next, scenario number three. Scenario number three. In the scenario number three, we can take the values from dynamically. Generally, for example, I will take with some employee class. Employee is the class, and employee is having some properties. The properties are like a private int employee id, and the next employee name, And next we can have uh, I would like to take like employee secret, like that you can take. Okay, this is the employee details, and I wrote the one Java program like this, like employee ID, and for example 100, and employee name some, I would like to mention some Raju. Employee name is the some Raju I would like to mention. So if I mention like this, so again like after 1 month, like employee might be changed or anything, then at the time what should I do? Again, I need to go to the code base, and I need to change the values. I need to go to the code base and I need to change the values. I need to change the values like 101, some other name, Rani. I need to change the names. Code base. Every time I need to go to the code base, meaning if you made any changes on the code base, it has to, we need to raise the PR, and again it will go to the STLC process, like dev environment, testing environment, pre-prod, prod. So it will take a lot of time to update the values. It will take a lot of time to update the values. So without going to that STLC process, so dynamically how we can change the values. So that is the reason we have the concept that is the dynamic configurations. We have the concept that is the dynamic configurations. The values you can pass the dynamically without touching any code base. Without touching code base, so initially we will write the code, and once the code is created, then we can pass the values dynamically. So after 1 month, employee will change. You can pass the values dynamically, and after 2 months, another employee will also change. You can pass the values dynamically. That we can pass the dynamically. That is called dynamic configurations. That is called dynamic configurations. That I will take two classes. One is the employee configuration, and second one is the employee details. And then that will do. I will show you the programmatically. You can get the clarity on it. I will go to the services. Here I would like to take employee details. Employee details as the class, and here I would like to take employee details. Employee details. This is the normal Java class. The basic skeleton is the same. The basic skeleton is the same. Employee, this is the, and in the interview perspective, they will ask like implementation, how you implement the service. At the time, you can tell, you can take the normal Java class, you can annotate with at the rate component and service equal to the class name. This is also very regular question. Component equal to service. The component equal to service and employee details. Employee details. You can mention employee details dot class, and next attribute equal to true, and the next enabled equal to true. Enabled equal to true. Okay, fine. This is the class. Now in this class, I need to take the variables like private int employee ID, and private, I can say string employee name. Next we can take with employee private string employee secret, and we can take with private string some REST API. So in that the you can take some REST API. These are the four properties belong to employee details. If I write the code like this is the hard coding. This is the hard coding. Employee name and employee. This is the hard coding. So if I go with this approach, if any employee will change, or if I want to change any values, For example, here if I take the employee salary also, then the employee salary will increase like every 6 months or 1 year, like that, right? So if after 6 months, if might be the employee change salary will increase, then should I come to the code base and should I change, and it will again we need to go with the SDLC process. SDLC process. Again we need to go with the SDLC process. That is very it will take lot of time to go to the latest updates into the live. That is the reason that is not at all recommended. So in the AM we have the option that is the dynamic configurations. Okay, so I'm not taking the values hard coding. Instead of doing the hard coding, we can pass the values dynamically. Okay, here also we can take I would say logger file to track the methods progress, like a public static final, and logger is the tool. In the AM we will use SLF4J. SLF4J is the logger tool which is integrated with EM. Make sure it will give the lot of suggestions. From that you can choose this one only. Logger and log is the constant variable, and again I am taking the logger factory. Logger factory also class which is available in the SLF4J package only. Logger factory, click on that, and get logger is the static method. If you want to access the static method, you can able to call with the class name. Employee details, I'm copying the employee details and then I am pasting here. Dot class. Okay, the next thing is you can take the activate method and deactivate method, public activate, and these are the methods you need to take. Public void deactivate, and next one is I can say public void modify. These are the common. Now these methods you can annotate with @activate, and here also you can annotate with @deactivate, @deactivate. This one also can annotate with @modified, @modified. Now inside you can pass some dummy messages. That I can pass here the message which is some I would say log.info. You can pass some dummy message like this is employee details, right? Employee details, activate method. So like that you can pass the same message in remaining methods as well. So here also you can mention the same thing. So this is the deactivate method, and this one is modified. Okay, this is okay as of now. Like we know already, like simply you take the three methods activate, deactivate, and we annotating with activate, deactivate, and modified. Now thing is we can read the values dynamically. For reading the values from dynamically, we will create one more class, that is annotations class. You can go to Java file and create annotation, and here you can mention employee configuration. employee employee configuration. The employee configuration is the name. So in that I need to pass the values. So like we have the employee name, And all right, the same properties I am taking here. First one is employee name. We'll take with the string name, employee name or employee ID, anything. Employee ID. And this is the normal this is the normal property. This normal property we can make it as the dynamical. How we can make? So there we have the annotation, that is the attribute definition. Attribute definition is the annotation. So with that we can make any variable as the dynamical. Any value, any property of the class we can make it as the dynamic. So attribute definition we can make this one, and inside we can pass some attributes. You can pass like these are the recommended attributes, not mandatory but recommended, highly recommended. A name equal to like this is the employee ID, right? So you can mention, yes, name equal to, you can mention employee ID. And the next one is we can mention with description. We can mention with the description. We can mention with the description. Description. Description I would like to mention about employee ID. Next thing is default value. Default value can mention as string. Default value can mention please enter employee ID. Please enter employee ID. Okay. Next thing is type equal to you can take attribute type dot, this is the string, right? We took this one only string, so you can take it as the string. You can take long also can take, no issue, anything is okay. You can take with the string, can take with the string. So these are the recommended properties. So employee ID, okay, so employee ID, okay, done. And next the same thing you can go with I would say employee string name and employee secret and employee REST API. The same thing, simply you can change the here, like this is the employee ID. Here you can change with employee name, and this you can change with employee secret, and this you can change with some REST API. Okay, REST API. Now here also we can change with the name, mention with employee name. Next here also mention with employee name, and please enter employee name. Next go with employee secret and mention with the employee secret, and default value also can mention with this one also can change with REST API, and default value also REST API. Okay, as of now is clear. I took all our, I think all our string only. So any data type you can take int. Here you can take int, long, any data type you can take. Okay, fine. Employee configuration. Now this class I need to make as the dynamical. I need to make as, so this is the normal Java normal class. First this we can, this is the normal class. This we can annotate with this class. We can make it as the dynamical. How we can make that? We have the annotation, that is the object class definition. Object class definition. Object class is the definition. This it can make the this class as the dynamically. Here inside also you can recommended to write a few of the annotations, few of the attributes. Name equal to employee configuration. Name equal to employee configuration, and you can take some description also. You can pass some description about employee configuration, and then here you can pass some enabled equal to true, enabled equal to true, enabled equal to true. Okay, fine. The these are the recommended attributes. Name, description, name, description. So simply what I did here, I took the one class employee configuration, and I took a few of the properties like employee ID, name, secret, and REST API. And this is the normal properties I am making as the dynamically. That we can do with the help of object class attribute definition. And this class also I'm making as the dynamically. With that we will do by using object class definition. Object class definition. Now I am saving this one, and again I am going with this is the one class, and we need to map this dynamic values to employee details, right? How we can map that? We can do by using @designator. @designator is the attribute. uh, @designate is the annotation. With that we can map the this specific class to this specific class. So whatever the values we take from that class, that values we are passing to this, to the methods which are available in this current class. So that we'll see @designate, and here you can map the two classes. Mapping OCD equal to the class name. You can mention employee configuration, the class name. Here you can mention, look for the employee configuration dot service. Yeah, this one, dot class, dot class. Save the file. Employee. Okay. Okay, now here I will take one more method. mm, that is public. Yeah, public void update employee details. Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I think
Yes, sir.
some network issue from my side. I think now is my voice is clear, right? So this is clear, right? So as of now, what I did,
Yes.
like I took one configuration class. From that I am taking the values, and those values I am initializing with these variables. So here one method I am taking. The method name is update employee details. Employee details. This is the method name. Method name you can take anything, and then okay. This is the method, right? Generally, the purpose of method is it will take the parameters, process the parameters, and return the response. This is also method. We need to pass the parameters. Which class parameter you should pass? This dynamic values you should pass. Then that is the reason you can take the employee class, employee configuration, and for all the methods you can pass the parameters. Employee and employee configuration. It will give the some suggestion I would say objects. You can choose that one, or if you want, you can give anything is fine. Employee configuration, and these are the parameters I'm giving to all the methods. All the methods I'm giving, and modify I'm giving, and update it is also I'm giving. Update methods is also I give. So from that I'm taking the parameters, and here simply I will write some. I will do the initialize of instance variables. So see how I initialize. So simply this is the object in that all the values are available, and simply we can take the values. Employee dot, we have the employee ID, and so that employee ID I am taking, that employee I am initializing with current class instance variables. How can I initialize current class instance variables? We will use the this keyword. This will represent the current class object, right? This keyword and employee ID. So with that, what I did here, with that, what I did generally, I initialize the instance variables. So somewhere here we took as the int, right? Here you can mention employee ID as the sheet. Okay. Now error will go. Okay. So here what I am doing generally, I am initializing the instance variable. Instance variable. I am initializing the instance variable with parameter. With the parameter. I hope everybody this is clear. So I am taking the parameters with the parameter I am initializing with my instance variable. Okay, so similarly I can do with all remaining also. So first one is we can take with employee dot, next one is employee name, and then this employee name again I can initialize with the current class instance variables, this dot emp name, and similarly we can do with employee configurations dot, next we have the employee secret, we can take with that one, and then this again we can store in one current class, this dot employee secret, and next one also the same process, employee dot REST API, and then we can store this one again in some response variable. This is actually you can this keyword, take this keyword and mention with REST API. Mention with REST API. Mention with REST API. Okay, I'm saving this one. So what I did generally here, I will tell you one more time. So in this class, I'm taking the values dynamically. Okay, so this class I'm passing as the object. So object for every method. The purpose of method, it will take the parameters and it will do the some process. So it will do the some operation. Here what is it is doing the operation? It is initializing. It is taking the parameters, and in this object it is having all the properties which are belonging to employees. So I am taking those values, I am assigning to current class instance variables. Current class instance variables. Current class instance variables. I hope this is clear for everyone. Okay. Now I can make the relation. Now I need to, this is the method, right? I need to activate this method. How we can activate this method? This method we can take this method name, and this method you can pass in the activate method. Go inside the activate method, and you can mention I would say the variable name. You can pass the variable name. You can pass the variable name. Like that we can go with, and then you can mention in the variable name. You can pass employee configuration.
One is not there in the configuration.
Yeah. Update emp details. The same method you can pass in all remaining activate, deactivate as well, activate and modified as well, modified as well. Now I want to whatever the values I passed dynamically, I want to see whatever the values I passed in my error logs. How can I see that those values? So that you can take log file. We can use the log method, log inf method. In that we can take the placeholders, which is like first one is the employee ID. Employee ID is this is the one placeholder. So similarly, you can take with the employee name one placeholder, and you can mention with the employee secret one placeholder, and next you can take with the rest type this one placeholder, and then now you can take with employee ID. The variable names you can pass here directly. Employee ID. So ID will give the suggestions automatically. Next we have the employee name. Next we can have the employee secret. Next we have secret, and next we have so this is the recommended approach. So the placeholders is the recommended approach. Okay, fine. I'm saving this one and I call this method here. Now I will do the deployment and those values I will give out dynamically here, and then we'll see the values. The values should be displayed on. The values should be displayed on the log files. Okay, now we'll go and do the deployment.
Sir, employee configuration file is not saved.
The four files both should be the same. Okay. Now can go with the code base and then again can do the deployment. So build is success. Now you can go to your web console. Go to your web console. Reload. Now first you can check the bundle active or not. Go to the bundles. OJ bundles. Look for your bundle. Demo.co. Yeah, bundle should be in the active, and you can check the bundle timestamp as well. Bundle timestamp is 11. Okay, bundle is okay, which is in active state. Oh, okay, fine. Next step. Next step is go to OJ and configurations. This is the configuration options. Go to that, and you can look your configuration class name. You can look your configuration class name. This is my configuration class name, right? You can look for this class name. That should be available in that. Okay, open Control F and then here employee configurations. This is the employee configuration, and in that employee configuration, in that click on that. So see, whatever the values I given here, all the values are coming or not? Is coming. Here I can pass the values as dynamically. For example, I would like to pass the values are some 500 is the employee ID, and employee name we can mention like as the some Raju. Raju is the employee name, and employee secret is we can mention some ID like some secret number we will pass, and REST API will mention some URLs like www dot some Raju some Raju.com, like that we can mention some APIs. We'll pass some APIs. Okay, this is the details I am passing dynamically. For example, after 1 month, if you take the employee salary, or after 1 month employee will change, then directly you can come to the employee configuration. Here you can give the values. Here you can give the values. So without once you write the code, and later after that, without without code base, without writing any Java logic, then directly you can come to the employee configuration. Here you can pass the values dynamically. Click on save. Now you can go with error.log files. Go with error.log files. This is the log file. Go with error.log file. Open error.log file. Now you can look for the details, whatever the details will give, like employee ID, right? You can look for the employee ID, which is you can look for the employee ID like that is 500, or else you give the Razu as the employee name, right? You can look for the Razu as the employee name. So see here, the values all are coming. Employee ID is the 500, employee name is the Razu, employee secret is the 999, REST API, REST API. These all the details are coming. So for example, if I will change the values as dynamically, the values also automatically change. For example, here I will go to the employee configurations. I can look for employee configurations. Now I will change 500 to some 700. Now I will change to running, and then here I will mention some other name. Okay, so I can say all the details, the same details. Now we can go with the log files. Again, open log files. Then this log files will be updated with. Now you can look for the Rani. The details you can find out. So see Rani details also updated. Like that you can pass the values. Like that you can pass the dynamic values. So this is the concept of dynamic configurations. You can pass the values dynamically by using the dynamic configurations. So this is all about dynamic configurations and OSJ component service. So today what you guys will do, the two assignments are, first you go and do the one assignment scenario number 1 on create component and service, and we can establish, we can make the relation between service and component. Service and component. That is the task number one. That is the task number one. Task number two is take dynamic values and initialize that dynamic values with your current class object, and that we can print out that every results you should be display on the log files in case number one and case number two. Every scenario you should be displayed on the log files. This is all about OIJ component service and dynamic configurations. Any questions, anyone?
Hello, sir.
Yes, hi.
Sir, the hour before I told about that class
Yes,
one.
yeah, please share your screen.
Sure. Sir, is it visible now?
Yes.
Sir, here, sir, for the colon, we are getting like red marks, sir. Error message.
Delete and once again write. Get logger, enter. Now delete that 12th line.
Fully, sir, yes.
Completely you can delete. Complete line you can delete. Complete. Uh, now we can write final, public static final, give space, logger. You have to import SLF4J. Log equal to logger factory, yes. Dot get logger, first one. End with the I would say semicolon, end get logger. For every file it is showing the same.
Yes, sir. Almost everyone, sir.
Almost not. No, actually, what I'm asking,
Sir.
the same file like where you are Indian service, the file you are writing. You
Sir.
tried with other files also.
No, sir, for yesterday's task only I have done this. For other I didn't try with, sir. But for this Indian service, it's showing, sir.
Get logger. Now you can pass the name Indian service dot class. Copy the class name and then paste inside the parentheses. Indian service. Copy the class name. Same class name. Copy the class name. Pass inside dot class. Enter. Error is gone.
Yeah, it's fine.
Meaning you not imported the package might be there.
Okay, I will check once, sir. Sir, but I have downloaded debugger Java installer.
Mhm. Mm. Now your doubt is clear, right?
Sir.
Mm. Next, any doubts you have?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay. Others, anyone have any issues?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. So you can do the today assignment and share in that group. Okay. So that's it today.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'm winding session.